Hi guys, welcome to episode 6 of Bolton Bells Podcast. We've got two guests on today, both from Bolton, both well known. We've got Mark Murry from Whysup and we've got Dean Cocozza from the Barbers. Right guys, have you had a good week?
Yeah, top man, yeah.
Can I just mention something quick, sorry?
Yeah.
This one chip challenge.
Oh, here we go.
We had a boxing thing, Andy, who said he was going to smash me. He also didn't smash me.
I didn't actually say I'd smash him at the thing. Adam took his top off, rubbed himself in baby oil so he was aerodynamic. I just stood up dead casually
and lost.
Switched the machine, half-hearted at it, and he beat me, fair and square.
Again.
And how do you know I'm not losing on purpose because I like doing stupid shit? So let's just say, who will ever know?
Well, currently,
it's my little brother and I
Adam
don't want him to
2, Andy 0. And Mum said I am best kid. So this will be, Andy will be eating this soon. I'm not sure when, but there will be a video out as soon as it's done. So the actual challenge is to eat it and not have milk for 5 minutes.
And it actually says on the back, I'm not taking the mickey, on standby to have milk. Luckily I do have quite a lot of milk dropped off it week, it's all the leftover, so I end up drinking them, I think.
So that's
and we still need comments for the next one, where we're all in. Obviously I removed from that one because I ate the fish first.
Yeah.
So I'll be
But you
involved in the
from
next
this
one. No, that's what I mean, so I'll be in the next one.
Glenn is in the next one, so let's hope Glenn loses.
And with our challenge that we're calling out as well, with the football challenge with the other podcasters in Bolton, whatever they're called. So
is there another podcast in
we'll be Kings victorious, Bolton Bells victorious.
Yeah.
So like and subscribe.
I have got some shout outs as well from YouTube. One of them is Paul McGlone from Manchester. I know he's not from Bolton, but I think secretly he wants to be from here. So we've got one from Paul McGlone and one from Gaz Smalley. He wants to say hi to Dean today and also welcome Gaz.
Gaz Smalley, for getting the mention, you also get 20% off the tarmacking from the Kelly brothers. So like you said, mate, we're going down to we even did one at 2 mil. 2 mil, yeah. 2 mil. You can't walk on it, but it looks fantastic again. So
in the rain.
It's brilliant.
Nice. So welcome to the episode.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. I know we keep banging on about it, but our last view had 500 views and
this week we have had
275 subscribers.
This week on YouTube we have had 5,500 views on all the things, and we've only got 280 subscribers.
Yeah, if you can just subscribe, we don't want to seem like we're begging for it, but it'd be nice, it'd help us get a bit further with it. But it's literally, as you're watching it, there's a button there, you just go, Glenn's going to stick a nice little thing in where it says,
subscribe.
Press the button, enjoy it, then you'll get the notifications when our next videos are. Like I said, it does take a bit of time, we set it up, we do what we do. We've got all the guests on.
And we've got a lot planned as well where we're going to be out and about. So if you see us out and about, remember we're all about positivity, no negativity. Come and say hiya and tell us about what you like.
And we will be checking your phones to make sure you're all pressed.
So we might actually, people who have watched it and say, we've got that, we're going to make you get your phone out. And if you've not subscribed, you get 10 lashes with the cane. So that's who I'm going old school with it now. So yeah, honestly, thank you very much. And that's it.
Hope you enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
To the Bolton Bells Podcast, episode 6. We've got two guests from here at the side of us, both from well-known names in Bolton. We've got Dean, he has had a barber shop since 1705 in Bolton. And Mark Murry, the founder of Whysup, is also with us. So welcome, guys.
Yeah, good to see you, pal.
Good to the podcast.
Dean was requested by all the mums messaging in saying, please get Dean Cocozza on so we've got some at Luke at.
It's a dream ball.
That's Dean's bags up thing, you know, what's that? Well done, then.
No, to be fair, it weren't all the mums, it was just Mark's.
I'll take that.
Oh, she's
going
to watch this. Do you know who mum lives? Do I know where she lives? Yeah, I do. Why?
So Mark sent me to look at a leak on his mum's roof. I'm just knocking on some door. I love you, alright. I went, Mark, are you his auntie or something? I went, she said, no, you have to. I said, like, calm down. No. I don't know, she rings him up. Oh, I'll get you an address now. He still didn't know what address was. I knocked on about 8 houses later. I couldn't believe it. Right.
Yeah, so welcome on, lads. So obviously we talk about nostalgia in Bolton.
Yeah.
You know, like going through all the different eras you'll have seen, all different times and stuff. Have you had 2 barber shops in town?
4.
So 4. Go on,
Yeah,
let's work with the first one.
I started off on Plod Lane in 1988. I did 3 years there. Thank you very much. I did about 3 years out, worked on a psychiatric unit, broke my wrist playing football, and then went back into town, took over Washington's.
Right.
Did 6 years there.
So I had my first haircut, that.
You did?
Yeah.
Algies?
No, Washington's at the back of the old blue boat.
Yeah.
Ah,
The
right,
original
yeah.
Washington's.
Tiny little place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then I moved across the road onto Dean's Gate, and I did 20 years there.
Is that what facing the post office one?
The old YMCA building, yeah. They knocked that down, and then 7 years ago, on the 1st of December just gone, I opened up on Bridge Street in the front of Vida Loca. 7.5 years now, yeah, we've been there.
I thought it was longer
With
than
Danny and
that.
Paul,
It
yeah.
just seemed
No, I
like
didn't
it.
think it that long ago.
I did, yeah.
Some career that, wasn't it? That's some haircut in that, Dean.
How many haircuts do you reckon you've done?
I bet
In
you
your
did.
time?
4.
Well, to be fair, every
He's
time I
rapping
walk,
as well.
every time I walk past you on your phone.
You do about 4 in an hour, don't you?
It depends, mate. It depends what sort of cuts you
Dean,
have.
It'll take me about 5 minutes to do my hair.
6 minute Deans. 4 minute Deans.
That
4 minute
That
Deans.
worked for me.
Dean was the only barber.
Yeah, that weren't your haircuts. Matt's mum called you that.
He was the only barber who could leave icon, walk that corner, and Dean would be opening his shutter about.
I still do that now.
Straight from nightclub, no, good
Yeah.
times. That. He's come and get me a haircut before he's
Yeah,
going
all you lads.
market. Yeah.
You have it painted on.
I've had my haircut off Dean for about 18 years.
There's a rumour I use hair fibres, but I don't know, we'll find out. I think Muzza's going to be Mark,
Yeah.
Bolton, growing up, tell us what were you...
So brought up in Halliwell, so around the corner from Kiamada, Chima. Used to have a fight with no shoes on.
No glasses.
Yeah, but like all older lads really used to knock about with, bottom of Halliwell, right at the bottom near Gaskell Street. And then when I started, I went to St Joseph's, so like Phil Markland and a few others went there, so they lived a bit further up Halliwell. So I'd go knocking about with them, and then secondary school you meet more mates, don't you, like you two at Thornley. In fact, you know what, Glenn, I was thinking out when I first met you, and I played for Astley Bridge together.
We did, yeah.
So my granddad used to manage Astley Bridge. You were in a team for a year older than me.
Yeah.
And one Saturday, I think you had a few
With
players
Daw.
shot.
Daw and Jimmy Dunn, I think.
He went, go and put some football boots on, and that's the first time I ever played football.
Yeah.
That
I thought it was at the McDonald's Football Club at Burnley.
yeah, possibly, yeah.
You know, when Alan Stubbs gave us them trophies,
Yeah,
and you went for school holidays, didn't you? And said, oh, Bolton's stars will be there. You didn't see one till last day now. And Stubbs walked in, he's like, there you go. Give you a trophy and fucked off.
What brilliant times that were, like Burnham Park. All going Burnham. Bolton were half decent in the 90s, late 80s, 90s. And then going up in Halliwell and then going secondary school.
Me decent as in...
We've heard a story, you
No, just, I don't know.
Bolton in general.
Like, when you're talking about nostalgia, you're thinking about like your past and all that. And I just think it Bolton in general, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
Like,
good.
You had a good football team at Burnham, didn't you? Picture here.
Yeah, that were later on, yeah, about 18. But like growing up, I mean, like you'd all be on the street, you'd knock on for your mate, no mobile phones. I know everyone talks about it now like it's a problem, but it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
brilliant.
all going up, and then went to Thornley, loved that, and then had a kid at 15, and things changed.
Mum was shocked at school. Like, Mother's having a baby at 15.
And my mum were a family planning nurse,
Yeah.
so my mum used like go in schools and do talks and give condoms
So I
out.
take it you was off that day.
Yeah.
he missed a couple of Don Bosco days because of that as well.
Yeah.
Dino, Bolton, come on, tell us about
Well, I listened to Mark talking about mobile phones.
We didn't
even have a phone at home. You used to have to queue up outside a red phone box. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
putting a frequency in it as well.
Yeah, 2p to make a phone call. You never went because nobody else you knew had a phone. So
pointless, isn't it? Just ring your notebook, ain't you?
Yeah, but my memory's the same. You know, I'm actually a Falmouth lad, so I only moved to Bolton in. Yeah, well, it's a shame.
Immigration.
So my early memories of Bolton was long before you lads was going to the Nevada.
That roller skating thing.
Yeah, where the lads and girls. It was absolutely awesome. I was what they called a 14er because you used to skate around as fast as you could and try and leg somebody up. And by the time you got round, it was how many bodies were piled on top of each other.
With music, though, did they have a proper DJ on, or was just someone spinning music back when it was?
They weren't spinning it. It was somebody turning it like.
Is that what
with a big one,
a bloke spinning this disco ball with a torch.
Where was it?
Where the Lads and Girls Club is now.
Right.
Spar Road.
Yeah.
That's because they call that Nevada now, the one that's near the pictures where Burnden used to be.
That's right. Yeah.
Have you been there? It's lethal, isn't it? Yeah. They've got like a handrail just about your rib height, and if you fall, you smack your ribs into the handrail inside. There's just kids all on the floor crying. It's just lethal. That place. It should be bad.
That's Adam's good Google reviews. Yeah. Sorry, Nevada, Burnden.
It's very dangerous.
No skating challenges.
Definitely not. My dad's pal was a croupier on ships, and he actually bought me and my brother some roller skates, but they were a night trainer on Euro wheels, which, you know, I see all these trainers here. When I lived in Falmouth, we had Adidas Extra Strike. We didn't have Reebok. We had, if you got two pairs that were tied together and the same size off Sufi's Market, you were lucky, man. The closest I ever got to Doc Martens were a pair of monkey boots. And my dad's mate bought us these trainers, and they were absolutely mint. And we're walking down side of Nevada, and everyone's, oh, look at them skates are absolutely buzzing. My head was so big. Got a proper pair of trainers. Got to the kiosk to pay, and the guy who let you in said, sorry mate, you can't come in, they're not boots. So he sent us home with these perfect trainers.
Skates.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the end of my skating.
Everyone talks about that, doesn't it? Everyone goes on about how racy it was there. I just can't imagine it being good. Just skating around. It just must be mental.
Well, it was roller skating during the day, so they had all sorts of levels for age groups, and then at night it became a nightclub. Yeah, I never went in as a nightclub. I was too young for that. Believe it.
Pro skater only.
There's a nightclub facing it.
Hawthorns.
Yeah.
That's been open for years, hasn't it? Is it
It's
still
short,
open?
no, it got knocked down, didn't it?
I think it was when we first started drinking. That was like open.
It used to be like indie nights.
Yeah.
Adam used to run with his long hair and
Then we can beer.
You could have got drunk from the Nevada to Hawthorns, and there was the Gypsies tent on one corner. The opposite corner there was the White Lion. The opposite corner was the Kicking Donkey, the Greyhound, which is still there.
There's the Hen Chickens, that's
the Albion. You had the Blue Boar, and then all the bars on the other
It's a thing
side.
that's just gone down.
Oliver's.
And pubs and stuff.
The Albion, my boss, when he used to work at market, so we'd be, when we were setting up, he'd disappear. And when we were putting it all away, he'd disappear. You've got to go and get a van under. You get everything boxed up, so I'll be there for about a fucking hour and a half. Putting out knickers and socks away and all that, and then
I remember when you were at somewhere.
I used to go, where's he park his van in? Like, he'd go, it's behind Albion. And then I just looked at the side and go like, a minute walk, if that. And he'd go, I have to go in first and just make sure everything's all right. You know? So he'd have about 3 or 4 pints and then come back with van like that, pissed up. And then still wouldn't help me put it in. He'd just fuck off somewhere else and I'd have to fill it all up, yeah.
That was when Scouse Bob had it, the Albion. I don't know if you remember. Little Scouse fella, and he actually opened what's now the Bob Inn on the market.
Yeah.
He was sat in my chair, Bob, and he said to me, I'm going to open a bar on the market. And he was no fool, Bob, he was a real good businessman. And I said, a bar on the market, that'll not do anything, that, Bob. How wrong I was.
Yeah.
You know, God rest his soul. He was a great guy, and he still stands to this day.
In fact, we had Andy Bowley in last week. He frequents that sometimes at 6 o'clock in the morning when he's avoiding Jed.
It's always busy, isn't it? When I've been on market, it's always like everyone just sat outside.
Yeah, but people go like you can get a pint at 6 in the morning. You know, for traders
and the wife does shopping.
I think the money time's a bit lower.
I'll go and get Carlo.
But yeah, it does like relays and stuff.
Hey Dean, what's this? You were into toys as well now?
Yeah,
wooden toys.
Yeah.
What have you been making?
I don't know this.
Mr. Bowley, he gets me every time. So if you come into my shop, you'll notice above there's two big pictures of a guy who's actually was my sponsor. He died last year. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm in recovery from alcohol. I've been sober now for 11 and a half years. And he was, Alan, my sponsor, he got custody of his two children and he couldn't afford to buy them toys. So he used to drop his kids off at school and then go and skip dip, and he'd get old chair legs and he'd carve them. And you should see these toys that are in my shop, that every spoke's made, every steering wheel. I've got a crane that you turn and every crane comes out, and bowling comes in every time. They're smart. Well, I'm a really smart lady. Where'd you get? I said, my mate. Yeah, you told me last time. So now Andy Bowling thinks I'm Bolton's answer to Pinocchio.
Geppetto. Yeah, Geppetto. I mean, the thing is, if you've got a picture of your sponsor, if you send it over, we'll put it in. Definitely.
Alan, like I say, I have two big pictures of him. God rest his soul. He passed last year, and I have a picture behind me, and I have a picture over the door, and I still I tap into him daily.
With it, it's sending like finger, but it's when you look up and know what he's put into you.
Yeah,
keeps you going.
No, give me a
or you can go
live.
into Dean's barber shop and have a look at him. Have your hair cut while you're there. Use the
play
code
with the
Bolton
toys.
Bells for 20% on.
Dean like
We're saving up for a week for bowling.
That'll be a big week. It's the size of his head.
Yeah.
You have to have about 3 barbers on that head of his. Fly ball going on at top.
I don't actually charge him for his haircut, I charge him search fees. It works out in my favour.
So what we'd like to do with our guests is spin the wheel. So in the first part, we'll let Mark spin it first.
Very slow, Mark.
In fact, should I be spinning a wheel? He's addicted to it.
To be fair, these odds are pretty good. You get to.
I might start rattling spinning this.
Oh, that's a good bit.
Little
That's a
gentle
decent
one.
speed, that.
I seen Warren's, it went round for about 3 weeks, didn't it?
Let's have a look. Adam, there's not even a fucking thing on there.
Well,
Adam, he's not. There's supposed to be another one there that stops it on wherever. What's going on here? Right, Mark, it's landed on.
Why, mate? We're not.
School.
Oh, what a good one.
Yeah.
Go on, what do you just talk about school?
Talk about school, yeah. Come on.
I know you were
You're an avid
yeah,
footballer.
St Joseph's Primary School, like I said, love that. Okay, sorry, I kicked that water, didn't I? St Joseph's Primary, and then you got secondary. And people would have thought I was a little bit more confident than I was at secondary school, but I was quite shy when you go to school, or I was, not like you two bouncing around yard. From Breakmate, I was like, from Breakmate. But then, like, got your set of mates from primary school that you take to secondary. Went to Thornley. Everyone used to rip our school uniform.
I know, but brown uniform.
But because I've got older now, I'm thinking, I look back at uniform. It brings memories back, doesn't it?
Fun memories.
But loved secondary school. Loved being around my mates. Could have always tried harder at school. Half decent footballer. So I got a lot of mates through that, and that's probably why people thought I was a little bit more confident than I was. But I weren't. But I had a good set of mates.
You must have been pretty confident. You had a kid at 15.
No,
How did you pull
do
it
you know
when
what?
he's in?
It's a love story, wasn't it?
No.
Isn't it? Like Peter Andre and Jordan at school, isn't it?
No, what it was is, I got a bit confident as I got a bit older. But at first in year 7, I'm like, I was shitting it a little bit.
And then you were like that.
But then everything changes about around year 9, doesn't it? You start drinking. That were a bit of a mad thing for me, because it'd be like you were necking bottles.
All-nighters.
Yeah, I remember on Fridays when we used to do all-nighters and have a bottle of cider. Or
If my mum's watching, I done with a drink, and I would play football all the time.
Yeah. Doing step overs online. But loved school, and then, like, obviously, big life events. So I played played at Bolton for a bit, went to Man City, played at town team, wanted to be a footballer, but I'll be honest, as soon as I got like Man City level, I thought, I'm not good enough. There were players that were like better than me that didn't make it. So my story's not I shouldn't have been a footballer, but I loved football. But then, yeah, everything changed for me. And I can laugh about it now, lads, but fucking hell, like finding out I went to Lever Chambers with Makita to do a test. So I'm like, I don't even know what fucking test I were doing. And doctor said to me,
Has you got a pen with you?
yeah, no, he said the test is it's positive. And I went, what does that mean? And he said, you're gonna be parents, so you're gonna have a child. And I was like, so I walked outside Lever Chambers, sat on this bench, we were just looking at each other like you're in a dream world. Went like walking home, we didn't even drive.
Bella Pizza.
Outside Bella Pizza. I've seen you putting that on. But then thinking, how am I going to tell my mum this? How am I going to tell my mum this? And then my mum answers the door. How's your day been at school? Have you played football? And I'm like, yeah.
Shaking like
yeah, do you know, like asking you like kid-like questions? And I'm thinking in my head, oh God, I can't get in trouble for this. She might ground me or like be grounded when I'm a kid. And then I didn't eat any food for the next 2 weeks. And then eventually I told her. And she and Makita were upstairs. So I went downstairs. I heard a door coming. I thought, I'm going to have to tell her. I went, oh, I've got something to tell you. I said, Makita's... and she went, what, love? And I went, oh, Makita's pregnant. And she was like looking like that, and she just said, "You've not killed anyone. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Like lift up and sit up." So I'm thinking she's all right. So then I went upstairs to Makita and said, "My mum's all right about it." And I heard this crying downstairs, and my mum were in the kitchen with my granddad's whiskey. She didn't even drink whiskey. And I went down how young I were in my head, and I went, "I thought you said you were all right." Like. But I didn't know then that my life...
It must be life-changing that for you, Mark.
My life was going to change. I've had kids now, like in my late 30s
which is
and
absolutely
40s.
mental to have 2 kids at your age.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what? It's the mad thing is, when you're 15, 16, everyone mucks in and helps you. But when you're 39 and 40, no one helps you. Everyone just thinks they're right and you're right and having a breakdown. And the mad thing is now, I look at that front door now and Frank and Elsie are screaming at the same time and I'm thinking, oh, I remember why I gamble now.
Yeah.
I want to leg it out the door, run off and not come back. Sorry, Bex, but no. But at that moment, it was like all these life events. Like you're planning for your GCSEs, everyone's like talking about what you're doing in further education, and I were going feeding our Callum on my dinner break.
Yeah, looking at
and look, I always say it rad for me at a turning point, but Makita were brilliant. You know what I mean? She got her head down. If it weren't for Makita, I went off the rails, and Makita got her head down. But yeah, that was a turning point for me because I started gambling. My dad was coming back in my life and everything started to change. So school for me at the end, I go back in fondly now and I remember being a kid.
It's mad, isn't it? It's smaller than what it was. No, as a kid, it was like fucking huge in here, but when you go back now, it's small.
But I almost feel like my childhood stopped overnight when that happened. I was like just messing about with all my mates and then it's like, you've got to save up for a member pram. Remember how much it was? Mamas and papas, I should have got a cheaper pram than that one. I had a job washing pots and raking leaves for a £5 and 20 quid at Originals as Saturday boy, and pram was 600 quid. But it were a mad time, but I won't change it for the world now. And Callum's 25, just bought his own house, went round his house yesterday, he's doing it all up. His missus is pregnant, he's sound, you know what I mean? So everything, you know, if anyone goes through that at the time, you think your world's over, but I love it.
Just drop kids off at mothers.
Yeah.
Look after food. Dino, school?
Started off at St John's in Farnworth, only there for the first primary year, I think. Went from there to St Thomas's, then St Thomas's closed down, and then went from there to Queen Street. Like Mike, you know, I slept and breathed football. I think I was captain of the school team when I was 7. Yeah. I think I sent you lads a picture of it. I looked like one of the Beatles' love children.
I thought it was John Lennon. Imagine that.
And then went from there to Harper Green. No real dramas at school for me. You know, like I touched on before.
You get kids at 15.
No, I didn't have a leg over at 15. But, I didn't excel at school with my hands and my feet. I were all right. I never missed school because it was a place of safety for me.
Yeah.
I was living in the carnage at home. You know, there were a lot of dysfunction in my house, which I didn't really realise was going on until I got into recovery myself, you know, and had a lot of soul searching to look back at.
Yeah.
Bit more serious than Mark's. Left school.
Yeah. So you've seen school all the way through though,
yeah? Yeah. I actually joined the army when I was 15 and a half. Yeah. And yeah, didn't excel, but always been creative with my hands. So
did you do what? Did you serve a couple of years in the army?
No, I did just short of a year. I went in as a boy soldier, a junior leader, as they were called then. I don't know what they're called now. Yeah. And decided it just wasn't for me. And again, as I look back, what I was doing, I was doing a recovery of a geographical. I was running away. Right. I was trying to get out of the carnage at home. Yeah. And realised I'm quite happy and open to tell you, nearly 56-year-old, I still cannot sleep without the TV on at home. I can't sleep in a quiet room. I have to have background because of the white noise.
If you go on YouTube and type in Bolton Bells, there's 5.5 videos you can watch. They'll send you to sleep, mate. I tell you.
Episode 6.
Put it on repeat. Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe every time. We'll have about 2.5 million by the end of it. No, it's one of them. Like you say, sometimes you've got to just find somewhere to cope with whatever's going on.
Yeah, of course, and it works. You know what I mean? So
did you always? When you said you were good with your hands, did you fall into barbering, or did that come
when
you thought?
I actually came out the army.
I want to do that.
The night I came out the army, I walked up from Farnham train station through St John's Church, and my dad was stood waiting for me, face like stern. He got home, and there used to be 2 free newspapers in Bolton, the Chronicle and the Journal, and he went, "There you are, apprentice barber." I went, "You can't fucking send me for that." Because it was deemed as being a bit of a soft job then. It's every man and his dog wants to be a barber now, but when I was doing it, nobody wanted to do it. But the guy I went to for my apprenticeship, I sat there for 45 minutes, and you think I'm quick, this guy was quicker than me. He'd done about 4 or 5 haircuts, and he said, "Do you want this job?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "No, you don't." I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "No, you don't." I said, "I do." He said, "Get your coat off and get the kettle on." And that was my interview. Wow. And he treated me like, him and his wife treated me like their own son. And he showed me a different way of life, you know. So, yeah, that was the start of it.
And that's good, that, because, like you say, from that, having, like, say, your troubles and whatever, having someone that you feel like, even at work, feel loved, and that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Always there to open up and talk to. And an opportunity came up when I was 18 to take over a shop on Plodder Lane in Farnworth. He was only open 2.5 days a week, and we got it open 5 days a week. And he fully supported me. Yeah. The guy fully supported me, bought me a new gown, and he said, "I just think you've got balls of steel, mate. Good on you." So that was how I set off on my barbering. Yeah.
Good stories, right?
We're just going to take a quick break. Yeah. Quick word from our sponsors. We're back in.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bolton Bells Podcast, episode 6, part 2. But that was a little word from our sponsors then.
Yeah, and a quick mention to Break the Chains, a group on Facebook that's just set up, and they're doing walks and events with people that are sober. So I went the other week, it was a walk around the Jumbles. Just go, even if you're not sober but you're sober curious and you want to meet people. There were people there, a woman that turned up that seen it on Facebook, she come for a walk because she had no friends to go out for a walk with. And it was nice at Rumbling, to go and meet people and have a chat with people. And I know that Whysup are doing Whysup in the community.
Yeah,
I've seen it on Facebook.
Like
So
a new
do
charity.
you want to give that a quick plug as well?
So everyone always thinks Whysusup's a charity, but we're a business, but like give back through the business. But we always thought we want to set something up that's like a proper CICM. So Dean's a part of that. Dean's always done loads of fundraising for us. But because we get so many people reaching out to us who are struggling, we thought let's start like doing groups for them and things. So we're doing like a walking club called Rebuild Walking, which is going to be an hour's walk, and then after it like a check-in, and we'll have a guest speaker every week for 15 minutes. And then we're doing Rebuild Running, so people who want to run. And there's a few lads in recovery as well who want to put a 50 miler on. It said counts to 50 miles, so that's a proper addict like that. Let's do a 50 mile. Yeah.
You drive, I'll charge your car.
Telephone. You can do it on a bike. But what we don't want the running club be is everyone like after taking over world or breaking records.
Yeah.
If someone wants to come and jog, stop, like they don't get left behind, we like stick together. It's more about just a community and getting people out of house.
Have you got a link for this we can stick in?
Yeah. I've literally put something out. We put something out on our page yesterday, so we'll put that and we're announcing the date. I think it's the Thursday the 9th of May. We're kicking the Rebuild running off. So yeah, it's just about giving back and like I said, we do lots of different things behind closed doors. The biggest person who has always rang me and said there's someone struggling is him. Because he cuts so many people's hair, and in that chair there's so many different people. Yeah. And it's like a therapy session when you get your hair cut sometimes, isn't it? And a number of times Dean rings me up and goes, mate, can we help this person? And we've always done it behind closed doors, but people think that's Whysup, but it's not really. It's not a service.
I've contacted myself a few times for people and said, what's the best way to do this and stuff, and he said, like, I'm not a charity, but pointing me in the right direction to help them.
It's more from a safeguarding thing for us, because I don't want to be playing therapist with people, but we always help people behind closed doors, and that's a part of recovery. Like,
and I know myself, with my own recovery, I've put on Facebook and I've put on stuff, and Dean's always reached out to me and asked them, all right,
do you know what you'll find, do you?
And advice, because you always look to people that are further on.
You
know, so Dean being 11 and a half years, it proves that you can get there. Like Jimmy Hamilton's, he's quite, I think he's 20
I speak to Jimmy most days. I've texted him this morning. What an ambassador for recovery that guy.
He's good, because I wouldn't be. I was 777 days yesterday. I wouldn't be that.
You'll get that support.
People that are 11,
but you'll get that support from people who actually like your mates and that. Like, you do get a lot of jip for not drinking, don't you?
Yeah.
So I stopped drinking on in Jan.
Yeah.
Not had a drop, you know what I mean? I've literally just. But what I know now, I function better now. I genuinely, like, I know it sounds a bit, everyone will be probably watching thinking, I've seen Andy in States, blah blah blah, and they have. And a little bit of it now, when I kind of watch people, like, say each to their own. If you want to drink, if you want to do whatever. But I watch some people when they're just in autopilot. Someone's like beer, beer, that. Not, I'll go and get my kids and take on a park because it's finger. Like, straight away in your head, it's a bit selfish. You're thinking of the pub, aren't you, or having that drink.
Addiction is, it's so selfish.
And Glenn as well. Like, me and Glenn have chats now, and I'm only like 4 months into it, as furthest I can be. And I said to Glenn, we went to darts, didn't we? Came out of darts on Thursday night.
Do you want to hear darts on Thursday?
I'll tell you in a minute. And I seen everyone outside ballooning and fucking doing whatever they were doing and all that. And like you said, you know, if that's what they want to do. And I said to Glenn, every single week I don't drink now. I'm actually proud of myself. Just for that 1 week, never mind. And I forget about the other 11 before it.
Just 1 day.
Yeah. And just 1 day. I look at it and I just think, I go on, we play darts. And prior to that last year, I was going darts and I was drinking, you know, carrying on drinking after darts. Probably getting in 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. On a Friday morning.
Drinking's mad because it's like, you wet the baby's head, you drink at a funeral, and every occasion in between, everyone just thinks, let's get pissed.
It's a gateway,
so it's like you get a promotion at, we've landed that contract, we've done this, let's get pissed. But what lads do, you just said it there, like, people should look at, like, so you who like has been out in past and having a good crack and latch onto that and think, well, if he can do it. But instead, lads, they have banter and they take piss. But behind that, a lot of people are struggling. Like,
I think the biggest thing being sober is people want to tell you how much they don't drink. You know, they'll say, well, I don't drink much. I'm not bothered. You do you. I'm doing me. And like, people say, "Oh, would you not just have a couple?" I'm like, no.
I-
I don't think I ever hit rock bottom.
pointless.
I just know myself though. What's the point in going having a couple when
yeah.
you don't want to drink at all?
Yeah.
I congratulate somebody who can actually have a healthy relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
People say to me, will you ever drink again? And I never ever say no.
Right.
I will say my intentions are never to drink again.
Yeah.
Because people say, would you not just have one? I said, no, I wouldn't even have one, because if I have one, that turns me into somebody else, and that other person drinks a hell of a lot.
Yeah, that's
So I just don't have one. And if you're struggling, you know, it's awesome. You go do it a week at a time. You know, in recovery we have like just for today.
Yeah,
Just get through today. And if you're struggling with the full day, break it down into an hour.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Let's get through to an hour. And like you said before, whoever this goes out to, my shop's open from 6 in the morning till 5. You can tap into me any time for recovery.
Yeah.
I'll always be there for trying.
Because we lost our auntie. We lost my auntie. I went to hospital for a visit her, and she pretty much died within the hour.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually want to watch her die, but kind of like the rest of my cousins weren't there and what have you, and one of my cousins were. And then something happened with all machinery, with heart rate and all that. So I said to the nurse, blah blah blah. She's got an hour left, and I was like, wow. Now I've not drunk through my auntie's funeral. You know, most things would be just drink. It's your auntie's funeral, you've got to have a drink for her, got to give her a good send off and all that. And I did do. I carried her, spoke at a funeral, did everything, and when I got home from that funeral and I just had like no beer, I sat there and thought that'd be the one reason that probably could put me back to having a drink. Because I actually died with a hand in my hand, you know, and I was gutted really. But to not have a drink during a time like that made me think I can do this, you know. I'm not having irrelevant drinks, because that would be one where I probably should, if having a drink, have a drink for my answer.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I seen the other side of it and thought, I seen it as a test. Let's see if you can do it. Give her a send off without being pissed up. Or
Well, it happened to me at Christmas. My father passed away on the 28th of December. Now, we haven't spoken for 25 years, and I was actually asked not to go to the funeral. But because of my recovery stuff and tapping into people like Mark, I worked all my recovery around it, and it's sad, but if that was his wishes, I respected them.
Yeah.
At one time, I wouldn't have reacted like that, especially if I had alcohol in me.
Yeah.
I'd have gone absolutely
You
ballistic.
tell him I can't do this and that.
I'd have done a lot of silly things, but I don't have to do that now anymore. I can rationalise things now, and I've got a good network of, you know, like you lads now. How many lads do this? Sit and talk. That's why I'm an open
This
book in the
conversation
shop.
would have happened 15 years ago. I would have been thinking mental health.
Guilt, fear and shame, you know, it's installed in us. Certainly lads of my age, you don't talk, you don't feel, you don't trust. And when you do talk, feel and trust, you then get riddled in guilt, fear and shame, and that's the 3 big killers of men.
This conversation would have happened 15 years ago, but it'd have been in the kitchen. And you'd have been ringing someone up, welcome to the Gift Gaff mobile.
And do you know what? Obviously, through my job, I see it in a different way now. Like, at first I was like, when I first set up Whysup, everyone's like bantering me, oh, Whysup and all this stuff. But after these lads who were like taking piss and ring me up at 2 in the morning or text me and go, oh, I'm having suicidal thoughts. Yeah. And these are some of the loudest people in pub. And I think just as like, not just lads, you know, women to some extent as well, they use alcohol as a coping for the stressful life, or you've had a stressful week, let's go and turn to that. But stress and depression and things like that don't mix well with escapism. No. And it doesn't always have to be, we mentioned addiction as well, Dean. Like, I don't think necessarily you were addicted to it, but it were a problem in your life and you didn't like it. So you don't, people always say when they reach out to us, oh, well, I'm not like sneaking vodka or pouring it on my cornflakes. And I'm like, is it causing you problems? Because I know some people who don't drink for 3 months. They go out once and they cause World War III and they drink drive and they're cheating on the missus and they're doing this. And it's like, if it's causing that much problems in your life, just stop it. It's not about if you do it every day.
See, I think everyone's addicted to it to an extent, because it gets to Friday, I'm going pub, I'm going match, I'm having a beer, because they associate a beer with going to the match. And if you don't do something, say you go to the match and you don't have a beer and you're rewarding yourself to it, you're breaking that addiction. So I think everyone is addicted, just on different points. People can go 3 months without having a drink, but they won't go out and they won't go to the pub, and they won't. But as soon as they walk in a pub or they go to darts or they go to football, they have a pint.
A big sign of it, right?
I like a pint though.
Yeah.
Do
Do you know what?
A pint,
I get it, and I've got to be careful in my job. I don't go in like we do education sessions in businesses. I know it's a big part of people letting some steam off as well. But what I'm saying is,
if you can control it.
Yeah. But a big what you've said there about grief, Andy. You stayed with your auntie, passed away. Yeah. You went to a funeral and you felt like you've grieved in some way. Like my cousin took his own life at 21, and I were in Dublin at the time. Again, running away from the problems. But he came home and something happened with his girlfriend, and they split up, and he took his own life. And I went to that funeral and I got blackout, like drunk. I owed money back in Bolton, so I was paranoid who's going to come in, walking funeral and all this. I was gambling the morning of his like funeral, like literally 15 minutes. I'll just go and have a quick bet. And what I realised when I got to rehab 4 years later is I cried at his funeral, I carried his coffin, but I was completely out of it and numb with how I felt. And then I put some photos up, and he were on a photo on my wall in rehab. And I like started crying and went downstairs and said, "Oh, my cousin's died." And they said, "When was that?" And they said, 4 years before. Like I said, it was 4 years ago. And I realised that addiction for me was just numbing how I felt. Yeah. And that probably started from, I found gambling me when I was 16, when I became a dad. That was my coping mechanism, because when I was gambling, I forgot about it and it became drugs later on. But yeah, I just think we've all got a bit of a dysfunctional way of dealing with stress. Yeah. But again, like you, like if you and he's gone further and further away. He went, I like a few pints. Don't worry, we're like we're in trouble. He's thinking, I'm sorry, man. He's going, these fucking freaks. No. Do you know what? Like, it's not. Like, some people, like you said, moderation, and it is a culture. Like, I didn't go totally sober after rehab, but I don't like drink to get drunk now. Yesterday, no one knew it. I just drink Guinness Zero all the time at pubs, so people think I'm drinking.
I always stop when I feel drunk. I stop me there.
Yeah.
I am never like that.
But I love that, because I'm still there. And what I realise about that bit is I like the social bit, but I'll be honest, when people start repeating themselves, no, I'm backdooring it.
That's my thing now.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I've always got my car keys on me. Yeah. And then I'll say, like, my dad will say, "Oh, can you live somewhere?" I say, "I will." But as soon as I'm going, I'm off. Just let me finish this pint, give me 20 minutes, I'm going.
Do you know when you've been in your life, when you've had beer or drugs or whatever, and it takes you kind of to a place where it's not normality, and the big issue is, I remember Scott Baker. Scott Baker said to me that he was struggling. I mean, he's sound now and he's exercising, doing what he's done. And Scott Baker said to me, his auntie sat him down and said, "Scott, you just can't deal with normality because you've been up there. You can't deal with the day-to-day running of life," which we're all buzzing, aren't we? "Oh, we've not drunk for this long and blah, blah, blah." That is technically how it should be anyway, as a normal human being. Sober is how everyone were before they started licking a toad in a certain country and then getting off their head for a bit, and then however it discovered to make different drugs and beers. It's evolution.
Somebody once simplified it to me. That he said, "Do you realise if you're an addict, you suffer with a disease?" I said, "Addiction's a disease?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "It's definitely a disease." And he said, "If you struggle to understand that big word, disease, split it in two. You drink because you're at dis-ease." And I thought, wow, I can swallow that. And I realised I was drinking. I didn't actually like the taste of alcohol. I liked the effect of it. It shut that up. Put my head on the pillow at night, I fell asleep. I functioned. I've never missed a day's work, but I was a functioning alcoholic. You know.
Do you reckon if your brain actually says to you, for a reason, if there's a trigger that goes, "I want a pint," you're an alcoholic, regardless of it being one or two or whatever. If your brain actually is in that mode of saying, "I want a beer," sun's out. If there's a trigger, that, like you said, death, this, that, you're only giving yourself the excuse saying, "I've got to go out because my mate's passed away. I've got to go out because of this." And it is your head telling you, you'll kid yourself that it's not, but it's genuinely.
The typical one though, and is, I put alcohol down, but we normally pick something else up. I started swimming. Podcast. When I stopped boxing, I started swimming. I could do 2 lengths of front crawl. I've always been a good swimmer. 2 lengths of front crawl, I sounded like Darth Vader on an asthma attack. And one old man gave me a 10-minute lesson, and I went from doing 8 lengths that one time. Within 6 days, I did my first mile.
Wow.
Because I'm an addict.
And what's that, about 32 lengths? That is
64. Within 6 months.
I only did half
A
a
swimming
mile.
addict's a good addict to be in.
I'm sorry, I've told anyone I've done a mile, it was half a mile. Fucking hell.
Within 6 months, this obsession came of swimming. Then, within 6 months, I did 10 mile.
Wow.
That's
For Whysup.
pure swimming, that much.
That was 5 hours, 20 minutes in the water, which was for my passion, which is Whysup. We raise money and then that feeds back into...
It must have been good having Mark at the lane at side of you swimming.
Yeah.
Did you do it so you passed each other?
I didn't like the colour of his pom-poms or...
So how many laps did you do, Mark?
I got on the side of it.
Wait on.
Well done, Pat.
Come on, Dean.
I went and had my dinner, come back, did loads of things, and I come back and he was still doing it. I'm thinking, oh my
We went
God.
and watched Callum in morning play 90 minutes.
Yeah, I did. I went, and Callum were in the final together.
Had his dinner and come back and I was still...
Just left you to it.
Yeah.
Did you have?
Sat in cars past us.
Other pasties aren't available.
But it's so easy. People say that, you know, you put the alcohol down, but I pick swimming up. Now people think that's a good addiction. No, it's an addiction.
Yeah, well, that's
That
a good
means
one, isn't it?
No, my addictive brains... Would you say I was addicted to alcohol?
I don't know. I don't think you
I'm an addict.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If I like something, I'll do it to death. I think that's why I ended up with 5 kids, but that's a different story. But I'll do it to death. You know, so now, 11 and a half years in, again, with having good networks, I'm aware of that now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm aware.
I think that's what you're saying, that word. Being aware of what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like I say, if you just got like that instantly, you wake up in the morning, it's going to be hot today.
Yeah.
You're knocking a beer back. It's actually thinking, I've actually, the open fridge is beers, got stuff to do. Let's just get all that done first, and then I'll think about that later.
Yeah,
if you can actually do that and you're not in autopilot, you are right.
Managing stress is key. I work with thousands of addicts over the last 9 years and working rehabs, and they've all got a bit of a dysfunctional way of dealing with stress, which booze, drugs, whatever, gambling is the thing that they do and escape to, which often makes it worse. So when you stop, you think that your life's going to be pretty rosy, but then something comes your way and you're thinking, shit, how do I handle this? Because usually it's, I'll just go pub and I'll go and have a blowout. But when that's taken away from you, you've got to look at other ways. So they say a good thing about recovery is you get your feelings back. A bad thing about recovery is you get your feelings back. Your feelings back because you feel everything tenfold. So it's doing.
You've also got to look at it on reflection and think nothing's really that bad. I know nothing, touch wood, nothing really bad's happened, but I've changed jobs, I've moved house, I've split up with my partner, you know, shit happens.
It's funny.
You just got to crack on, haven't you? And not let it break you.
Me and Mark only half an hour before we come here, we were talking about recovery, and I said, for me personally, recovery for me, it was like a bereavement, because I thought I'd lost my best mate.
Yeah.
And I hadn't. I just kicked out my worst enemy.
Yeah.
You know, but my addictive brain taught me it was my best mate. I never drank in the morning. I only drank at night.
Yeah.
Still functioned, still went to work. But 6 o'clock became vodka o'clock every night.
Yeah.
On gambling though, right?
Yeah.
I am the worst gambler in the world.
Okay.
I lost
He's the
it.
bad student.
I lost £2.50 me the other week, and this is why I just I'm the tightest bastard in the world, right? And when I lost, I'm like, this is shit. Why am I doing this? I just don't gamble now.
We was
because
in
I lost
Breakmate. We was in
£2.50.
Breakmate last year, and Roxanne put a bet on for £2, and the cash. She said, "Oh, cash out £2.75." Is that cash out, Roxanne?
It's 75p more.
It really fell out with us because she wanted to go down for a £9 win.
We laugh about it. So we do this thing on like a gambling education session, and I could do a spectrum now and ask people where they're at, and everyone thinks they've got it in control. And I say, have you lost more than you can afford? Have you lied to your missus over it? Have you done this? Have you done that? And a lot of people have. They've done the waging and thought, I'm not going to do that. So it's like this thing that, again, a bit like booze, no, it's everywhere. Have a bet on this, have a bet on that. But I'm not anti-gambling, but I don't like underage gambling because that's when I started. I know it's the wins that do the damage. And I don't like the advertisement.
It's everywhere.
It's like cost of living crisis on what they're like talking about it on radio. And the next one is, have a bet. And I'm thinking, people think it's a way out. And on benefits day in working class areas, bookies are full. People get the benefits and try and turn that money into more money. So it's a mad one, really, gambling. But God, my life is I were never going to be in control of gambling. Like Dean said, I did it for 13 years, and then this
Which
year,
made you what you are now, though.
Yeah, yeah. I, people say, do you regret it? I regret hurting people. I owed people money, and that was the hardest thing for me. I stopped. It weren't just about stopping gambling; it was about sorting this out. But I came out to all the debt.
So you owe me a clipper card still from that
Mate,
football
so it took me 10 years to get through it. I had 24 standing orders coming out my account at one point, and I'd not gambled for 6 or 7 years at that point. But it's mad because it's full circle.
So stupid. But were you gambling for the win, or were you gambling so you could gamble more?
It was mad. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Say you put a tenner on for win £1,000. Were you happy with that grand, or was you going fuck that? That's
I never was happy. I always thought, oh, when I win this, crummy. Like I used to gamble with crummy a lot. And I remember being with Pete all day in the bookies with someone else's money. And I went down. I took 10 grand in. Went down to, and it weren't my money. Like, I made a bloody lie up to someone. Went down to 500 quid. Pete, we know him from school, but what am I guy? So what we're doing is I was writing betting slips whilst being on roulette, and I was saying to Pete, put me that dog on, put me this on. So he was taking it up, taking money off me. Pete only come in with a tenner, and then I won this big bet, and it should have paid a few grand out, and I went, get in. He went, I didn't put it on for you, mate. I didn't want you to lose any more. Oh no. So Pete's pockets were full, and I went, you big thingy. So I laughed it off, but then I ended up going out to my last bet, winning. I don't want to say figures, but winning a lot of money that they give it me in a Morrison's bag that were full. And Pete's words were, half of that's mine. I've had day off work for state bookies for you all day. So I ended up going partying with him that night, and basically they paid me 22,000, and there was still £1,000 left that they owed me. So I was at 7 o'clock in the morning in this thing here with a Morrison's bag, and thought, I'm going to go back to collect that grand, but I'm going to sneak out when Pete goes in kitchen. And I went there. I paid someone the night before I owed money to, who's this money were, but I still had a lot of money, and I went back and lost it all. Wow. And I would have never won, because if I would have won £1,000, I would have wanted more. If I would have won £1 million, I would have. Yeah. So it would never. I don't know what it were for. It was like escapism. Everything that I turned to was gambling, but it was the thing that was like bringing me to my knees. And then the debt thing was the hardest bit, and that was the biggest thing I was ashamed for. And gambling's out of any addiction, gambling's the biggest cause of suicide.
Are you still cooking?
Chefing?
He's head chef, wasn't you?
No, that was for the year before. Yeah, I ran off to Sark at 23. Oh God, I didn't think this was going to get brought up. I basically owed a lot of money out from being a young lad. When he got whacked over every hammer, that weren't enough. But I always had good jobs, so everyone thought, oh, he's got himself sorted now. I never had a pot piston. I never had fuel in my car. I'd hoped that someone brought some butties in or some custard cream so I could have some dinner at work. And then I owed another large amount of money at 23, and my mum just said, look, people are banging on door all day, you're going to have to get out at work, you're putting yourself in danger, but kids. So on the Friday, I worked for Balfour Beatty as an assistant QS, shirt and tie on nice company car, just left my company car, got on a flight to a place called Sark in Channel Islands. I'd get a job washing pots in a kitchen. I'm thinking, I did this when I was 14. And then second chef kept coming in and like smoking at back door, and he's going, he's a wanker, that chef. I'm like, all right, like pretending I was travelling as a student, washing these pots. Anyway, he walked out one night at this guy after I'd been there about 4 days, and he'd walked out, and this chef come over to me and said, what you like in the kitchen? I can't even make toast without burning that. So night after, I'm dressed as a chef in chef whites, prepping these salads. I remember I can prep a salad now, but I can't cook. Cutting lemons so lemon juice squeezes a certain way. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm a chef now. And he were going, yes, chef. Yes, chef. And then after about 2 nights, he just turned on me and started knocking salad off plate and go, what the fuck's that, chef? And I'm going, and then I'm thinking, I'm not a fucking chef. So I'm like, you don't even know why I'm here. I'm fucking run off from blowing everyone money. I told everyone I was like this student that were travelling, dressed as a chef. And yeah, I had a bit of a ding dong with him in kitchen.
Yes. So if anyone sees him now,
yes,
chef. Yes, chef.
Yeah,
or, in a French kitchen, it'd be wee chef.
but do you know what? I know we're talking about mental health and it's all serious now, but I do also like I don't mind people taking piss. People still call me chef now. and I love the
people will know something.
Yeah, but I love the sense of humour in that it's not always about, you've got to be able to take a joke as well. Me and Dean don't go around like butterflies going, you can't say that about us. When it does become serious is when, I'm not flipping this on its head, when people who are suicidal hate a joke, then it's not banter. When people rock bottom, because we dress that up in a joke sometimes of like, oh, you berate, just get out, go and get some birds and all that. And if people are at the party saying, I'm thinking of taking my own life, then the joke's gone out the window, innit? Sorry for...
It's funny you're talking about that there. Alan, who was talking about before, my sponsor, one thing he actually said to me, he sat me down in my shop, they made a film about him, Happy Alan it's called, and he just tells his life story. This guy was amazing, and he sat me down when we were doing some of our step work and said, how would you feel now if I sat here and told you exactly what I think about you? We know consequence. How would you feel? Try and think about that. If somebody looks you in the eye and tells you how they feel. Because to me, that cut me to the bone. It was like, wow. But today, it doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit. If somebody don't like me, that's their shit. I don't carry that ego anymore. I probably did at one time. Well, I did at one time. But that's part of recovery. If I've done my recovery, he's being honest. I can't help how somebody else feels about me. I know I'm a decent person.
That's something you can't really change unless they want to give you another chance to say, look, Dean, this is what I thought, and you can go, look, mate, that were different, Dean.
Again, what you say is, I now don't have to control things. That's control over.
That's it.
You know, because when I start controlling things, that's when my addiction's starting to work. You know, pass it over. Talk.
That's good.
Take a spin of the wheel, Dean.
Oh, that's a perfect spin.
Right, hobbies.
Hairdresser's hands.
Hobbies.
Keeping fit. Love it. Even when I was drinking, I always kept fit. I'm fat. Fat and fit, but yeah, I just...
You always had a good set of chip balms, didn't you?
Yeah.
You won't.
And for me, is it's charity work.
Yeah.
You know, I've always done it. 38 years. I wouldn't like put a figure up, but I know it'd be over £1 million that I've raised in 38 years for all different causes, for different people. I come across so many different people in my shop, and I can't help but help people.
Yeah. You always have boxing memorabilia up and stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, you know, I used to sponsor Matt Bianco when Matt was amateur and pro. He's, you know, I was at his club for a long time, and then obviously your body starts taking toll, you know, it's falling off. So, but yeah, still, I like keeping fit.
Get Matt and Johnny Rocco on, but we're just waiting for subtitles for Johnny Rocco.
I know exactly what he's going to say to me. I mean, I see him, he says the same thing to me every time I see him. So I'm going to think of something for him anyway. But yeah.
So on food anyway, what is your favourite takeaway when you order a takeaway from Bolton?
Is this still that?
No, this is the
question. Favourite takeaway? I love a Chinese, but it just makes me feel like I've been on a session.
From what?
Shanghai on Charlie Road has got our happy house.
Some more?
Yeah, but I don't get it all the time. But when I do, I feel like I've had like 15 pints.
But it's good, isn't it?
But it's good, yeah.
And what is that you order?
Crispy seaweed, ribs, and I'm not really, I don't mix it up with things. I'm just a special fried rice, chips and curry man.
Nice.
He's old school. Old school Chinese.
Yeah.
What's yours?
What's your go-to food?
Probably the same. We actually go to Happy House. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We like
Tell
those.
us what money
It's
is.
the same Happy House.
I didn't say pay for it now. It's takeaway, innit?
So does Muzzer not drop you one off when he's been picked up?
He's too busy at home cooking his own.
Bex, you pick that up, I'll do salad. Oh, bloody hell. like I say, we've all known each other for years, and it's good.
Yeah.
Things like you say, it's good to see the not bad things. It's an experience in your life. Like I say, you've had the bad times, the good times, and when you come out of it, like you say, your head held high, and no matter what. And like I say, anyone is out there struggling. Yeah. Contact Mark at Whysup and pop in, get your barnet done off Dean, or just jump in swimming baths and talk to him as you're swimming past him and that.
And the mad thing is, every single person, no matter what, if you've not gone through it yet, are going to go through them times where you feel like the walls are closing in. Something happens, it might be a breakup, it might be losing someone you love, it might just be feeling shit and sometimes you can't explain. And I always say to people, we do a lot in schools, I always say you will experience it. Or if you don't directly, someone you love will. So it's about knowing what to do in them moments, isn't it?
I don't think anybody goes through life and not has a bad day. You've got to have something wrong with them.
Changing that rock bottom mindset, flipping it over and think, that's a foundation. Let's start building.
Do you know what? I was thinking that with this hot chip challenge I've got to do. At first I thought this is going to be horrible, but do you know what? I'm going to enjoy it like I'm having a really spicy curry somewhere. So
Andy, go on then, Andy. You might as well open it.
I'm doing it. I'm not doing it in my afterwards, but that has been.
That's been done today, that guys as well. So that video will be out today.
It'll already be.
That will be out today. This video. That is
a full circle moment for me. I'll tell you, because it's just a reminder of all these Reeboks on thingy. About 4 weeks ago. Longer than that, actually, about 6 weeks ago, I get a message on LinkedIn off a guy called Joe. Messages me, hey Mark, just seen your story online, want you to be in this book. And I wrote Bolton match, so I didn't read it. A few weeks before that, did you ever go to Bolton Museum?
Yeah, of course I do. Always.
The Reebok bit at the end.
Free, isn't it?
So when I went, that was a day for me. That was my holiday when I was a kid, because I had no money. I didn't go on holiday till I was 18. But I went there and I'm like to Frank, look at these trainers, and they had all Reeboks. I'm obsessed about it. And I got a message on LinkedIn. It was the founder of Reebok, and his message and said, "Do you want to be a part of this book?" So I've ended up like speaking to him online about stuff about how we sold Reebok, and I'm like, and then he said, "We need some photos for the book." So I've got a chapter in this book, and all my photos at Bolton kit with Reebok, and I'm like, what the hell? And I've got one where I've literally broken Burnham Park. When it closed down, we used to all go down and rip all stuff out of it. And I've got a billboard on my head, which is the Reebok billboard. And I'm thinking, I'm going to put it in this book. I've got Burnham Park billboard on my head with big Reebok sign. Oh, so, I've got coming to a book launch and all that. Yeah, so mad full stop.
Like signing books and all that.
Oh, no.
Turtleneck on.
You'll have to do part two.
And then I'll put one in the chef, yeah. I wish I got a photo of that chef. But no, I think I still owe him money actually, so I did that bit out.
Right, we've got time for Andy's dad joke of the week.
Yeah, well, it's more of like a little story to be fair, so it's only short and sweet. But I was, heads up my ass a little bit, thought go out and have a little drive in my van. So just driving about, gets to this steep hill, sees these two crisp walking up road. So I says, "Do you want a lift?" They said, "No, we're walkers." There you go. They're going to get worse. So. Mother's on every week because he laughs so hard.
Guess we've bought you both for Lolly.
There you go, Dean, for being a good boy. You've been a very good boy.
Yeah. Good lad.
That's it. So, like you said, thanks for tuning in. We've had two great guests again today. And please subscribe. Press the button. It don't cost nothing. Everyone come up to me on Sunday and went, "How much does it cost?" I went, "Fuck all. Just press it." So
we are going to start pulling people walking round and we're going to start saying, "Show us your phone. Get YouTube out, and if you're not subscribed..."
Do you know what? How mad is it? I watch everyone and I've not clicked on it. It's bad.
You're joking.
Do you know what? It's mad that, because I love them. And just saying that, lads, like I think like Bolton needed this.
I'm unfollowing Whysup.
Because Facebook's full of negative shit, and it's just. I got excited when it first got out. I was watching all them things with Bella Pizza and Chippies and all that. I thought, I want to watch
can we,
you're smashing it.
Can we set up in yours one day and just get
in a couple of weeks we're going in town, we're going to walk around in town and ask people what's good about Bolton.
Mega.
Do you know what do you like? What's good about it?
It's brilliant.
I actually went on a date myself last night.
Yeah,
and this woman said to me, she said,
"Dad joke off Dean, the topic."
She said, "Have you got any pets?" I said, "Well, I've got a goldfish." She said, "Any hobbies?" I said, "You like swimming?"
That's a good one.
that joke special.
I'll tell you what, Dean, you can come on every week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you next time, Walter. Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Top man.